Good day everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the Soundscape plugin. This plugin came out in UE5 early access version. It was used in Valley of the Ancients demo. I'm going to show you how it sounds like. So for this example, here I have made 4 different areas to represent a real game. First area is a forest, second area is a swamp, third area is a mountain area, and fourth area is a beach. We start the level and we're gonna go from the forest all the way down to the ocean, so you can hear the ambient sounds that I've created with the Soundscape plugin. This system was designed to populate your world with ambient sounds. It's a really easy plugin to use, and it has a lot of alternatives to give you the tools to create a 3D environment with depth. You should think about it with an idea of near distance sounds, medium distance sounds, far away sounds, very far away sounds. So that way you create an immersion level that will act very natural and will be very customizable. The Soundscape plugin also allows you to reuse the different areas that you have created for a project and only copy and paste it to another project. So it's a long-term plugin that will be a mainstay in the game audio industry. I only used 3 folders for this test. The sound waves, where all the different sound waves are stored, and the Soundscape folder, where you are gonna create, first of all, a data table to set what states are you gonna use in your game. I have here the forest main area soundscape with a description, swamp, middle, ocean, shore, and mountain area. These 4 states are gonna be directly connected with your gameplay tags. Here is the same soundscape state that I've created. I have added it to the gameplay tag table list, and as you can see here, it will auto-generate all the different states that you have created in the table. So with Soundscapes, you have 2 new assets. One is the color and one is the palette. So as you can see, this is very connected with painting and creating an illusion of a place. So in color, you will put all your single sounds, loops, or meta sounds, sound cues, and in the palette you will put all the colors that you want to use in a single palette. The green ones are the colors and the blue ones are the palettes. One color that I like a lot is for example, the frog. I've used a meta sound in here. As you can see, I can open it And in this meta sound I used a single frog one shot. Then I set a random time for it to delay. So with one shot I have a modular frog that will sound in a random float from 1 to 4 times each time. So each time the frog color is called, the frog will sound in different quantities. I can make a preview here. This time was 4, this time was 2, and it will randomly generate. So in the color, we have the volume base, I've set it to 0.8, and the pitch base I left it like the usual one. Here I don't make any changes, here neither. And in this pound behavior we have a lot of tools to really customize our colors. So continuously respawn will make the frog meta sound to continually respawn when you are inside the forest area. In this example, if you use delay first spawn, you will set a time frame where the frog, when it first sounds when you enter an area, will spawn. So I have not changed this because I want the frog to start playing right as I enter the area. Here is a minimum and maximum spawn delay. So between each respawn of the frog, there will be a chance that it will respawn sooner or later. And the number of maximum spawn elements is 7 because I wanted a lot of single frogs to populate my forest. Here you can set the minimum and maximum distance. So like I wanted this frog to be really near the player. I put a value of 210 here at the minimum and 300 at the maximum. Here you can set the spawn angle, and here you can clamp a relative height. So in this case I use -150 and -250 so the sound will spawn at not below the player at any time. So after you have set your meta sound and your color, you will have to set a palette. I use the frog in the first palette. So here is the palette. As you can see, you will populate your palette with the different sounds that you want to use. I'm using 5 sounds in this example. So in the palette, you will choose different volume, pitch, fading and fade out times for your different colors. So as I use the frog in my swamp area, I will open the swamp palette to show you. Here we have a loop of frogs, some cicadas, the frog meta sound, and some insect sounds that I've added to the area. For the frog meta sound color, I have adjusted the volume for a value of 0.84, and the pitch is normal, and the fading and fade out are normal. So here you will say, so when all the expressions match, all the tags match to these names, when you trigger a state of an area, this palette will load. It's very simple. It's Soundscape, Swamp, Middle, like we had in the gameplay tags. You can really explore the different possibilities of Soundscape and meta sounds. Also, you can only use a loop. For example, here in cicadas, I used this loop, and I just set it to loop. I have to say that you can also use surround sounds with Soundscape, and in the next video I'm gonna use surround sounds and see how they populate the same areas of this test. For using the Soundscape plugin, I'm gonna use my level blueprint. It's safe to say that You can also create a trigger class and create your blueprint there. And in the next video, I'm gonna create my system, my Soundscape system with a trigger class. I want to thank my friend Hayley. She's a programmer and she gave me the idea to do the Soundscape subsystem in the trigger class. So you can check her work in the description. Okay, so you will start the Soundscape subsystem in parts of your game where you have loading times. So for example, when the game begins, you can load the Soundscape system, because if you have a lot of collection of a lot of palettes or colors in a lot of areas, it will take a while. So it's better to use them in this type of loading times between levels, maybe. Right now the system is working with sync loading, but in the future it will work with an async loading, so it will be a lot better to load this system in particular. So from the event begin play, we will add a palette collection. Here we will set a name, main collection, and in your palette collection reference, you're gonna put all the palettes that you are gonna use in your level on your game. Here are the 4 I did. Then from the Soundscape subsystem, you're gonna connect the target and you will set the states. The good thing with this plugin is that it's very easy to use. As you can see, there is not a lot of blueprint for it to work properly. And you can set state and clear the states. So I am using a trigger volume to create an event on actor begin overlap. And when the actor begins the overlap, I'm gonna set a state of the forest main area, with the target being the Soundscape subsystem node. And when the actor ends the overlap, I will clear the state so it doesn't play anymore. I will do the same with all the different palettes I'm using, or the areas you're using. As you can see here, nothing else. This is all. Other ways to use the Soundscape system is, for example, if you have a level that is in the sky, you can set a different palette for that level, and you can create a lot of new alternatives for every area of your game. You can do fight palettes for when you are fighting a big boss or some kind of enemy that you want to dedicate a full palette to them. You can reuse some of the colors. For example, here I'm using the cicadas twice. I'm using them in the forest soundscape palette and in the swamp palette. So you can see cicadas are here with a lower volume and a different pitch than the regular pitch, that is one. And here is with the regular pitch and another volume. So they don't sound the same, but they are the same color. Another cool feature about the Soundscape plugin is that the colors are live updatable, but the palettes are not. This means that if you're in play mode, you can change the parameters that you want in real time and test which sounds better in each case. But palettes are not updatable at this moment, but I think they will be updatable in the future. So basically this is the Soundscape subsystem. In the next video I will use surround sounds recordings of ambient sounds, and also I will make another version of the blueprint into a trigger class. Thanks again to my friend Hayley that gave me the idea to use trigger volume classes. So this is all for today. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you are excited as I am for this plugin. A special thanks to the people in Unreal for creating this. This is a magnificent tool for us audio designers. Thank you very much.